Hello everyone, time for another BCRC live feed. It's been too long. Man, right, first things first, as we do, send out some invites. The typical invite theme song. Right, so we're going to send out a few of these, and then we are going to go over whatever it is that's going to happen today. That's the plan. Nothing huge planned. I mean, I'm going to reveal the colour, but the Tamiya truck's going to be, and man, Dion's joined us. Thanks for joining, Dion. Yeah, so we're just going to wait for a few of you guys to join and then go over everything that's going to happen today. Someone else has joined. Can't see who it is yet because Facebook's wonderful. It doesn't tell me all the time. Yes, Oscar's joined us. Thanks for joining, Oscar. Yeah, what are you guys up to? While we wait for a few people to join, and I don't know how many people are going to join. Guess we'll soon find out. So, yes, I did have a couple of things I thought about doing. I've got Benny's Defender sitting here. I've got the bloody Demon sitting there, PG4 sitting there, the TRX4 sitting there. I've got the Tamiya truck sitting here. I've got RC everywhere, and I need more shelves. Alex has joined us. Thanks for joining, Alice. Alex, not Alice. Hamish is saying I'm late. When I put a live feed in so many minutes or so, or about so many minutes, that gives me the opportunity to stretch that time frame out to suit my needs. Okay? Phil's joined us. Thanks for joining, Phil. Right, so Hamish is making links for the AX10. Dion's designing and printing and watching me. Well, hopefully I don't distract you too much, mate. Yeah. So I've been doing some work on the Tamiya truck, and I'm bloody loving this thing. Seriously. When you build these trucks and you get to the point where you can mock up the body and bolt the pieces on, it's just awesome. Cindy Williams has joined us, and Dennis Williams has joined us. Where's Ryan? The letdown child is not here. Okay, the good one. The good one's here. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate that. So, yes, wait for a few more of you guys to join, and then we're going to get stuck into the nitty-gritty. I think to start with, we'll talk about the Tamiya truck and what colour that's going to be. I'm really excited to get that thing painted. It's coming along really nicely now. Hopefully in the next few days, I will get the MFC01 unit for it. That's the sound and light kit for it. Also has the ESC with it. So hopefully in the next couple of days, I'll get that, and then I can put all that in. If the weather's nice, maybe you can get it painted. Who knows? I was going to say it could be a runner by the weekend, but the servos I've got coming for it, these trucks with the MFC unit prefer analog servos. They don't like digital. So I'm going to have to wait till my next RC Mart order gets here. And I've got to order a receiver. So it's not going to be a runner this weekend. But who knows? Hopefully maybe by the weekend after that, might have a runner. But yeah, bloody excited. Cindy just said, I am the favourite. Someone else invite Ryan. He's got to come and read these comments because they're Mickey Mouse. That's lovely. He knows. He knows I'm the favourite. He doesn't like it. He doesn't have to like it, as long as he knows. Okay? Right, so speaking of the Tamiya truck, I'll start talking a little bit about what I've done, etc. Move my coffee out the way. Right, so this bad boy, look at it already. Here's where I'm at with the Tamiya truck. I mean, look at this thing. That nice bit of kit or what? All right. Some nice fat super singles from Dennis Fraser. Thank you, Dennis. They look awesome, mate. They look wicked. This truck's pretty long. As all the back end is complete. Loving it. I'm not sure yet. I contemplated putting my BCRC decals on the bottom of the mud flaps instead of the Ford ones. I don't know yet. When I use my decals, I don't just smash them on any old thing. Okay, I did with the little blue RGT body, but I'm not really phased about that. With a truck that's as scale as this and it's going to look this nice, you don't just slap decals on anywhere. We've had this discussion before. So this is the truck. Whip the cab off. Here's the detailed chassis underneath, 3-speed transmission. I did buy a different motor to put in it, so I'm going to have to take this back out. But I'd rather do it in the stage where I'm at now than after the whole truck's painted, because that's a nightmare. Trust me, I've done it before. So I've got the 27 turn tin can that comes with all Tamiya stuff. The 3-speed transmission runs up through to the 4-wheel drive at the back. Unlocked diffs in the rear end. You don't want locked diffs in the back of your truck. A lot of people may lock one so that they get a bit more traction, but you do not want to have both diffs locked unless you've got the option of unlocking them. Battery goes in here. I love that setup. It keeps everything nice and hidden. Weight's down low. I mean, have you got the center of gravity of that chassis, would you? That's low line. I love it. So that's where this is at. These things, man, so scale. I've got to show you. Look at the U-bolts and such on those, on the front suspension. Can you see those? Just up in here. U-bolt either side. 4 nuts. Proper scale suspension. This is what Tamiya does, and they do it bloody well. So there's that. Let me just try and sit this down without knocking everything over. And then, because we're showing Tamiya truck stuff, I will show you a couple of things I got yesterday for it, which I'm excited about. So excited about this truck. You know you've got the right RC if you're excited about it. Right, not that. First thing I got was a brushed 60 turn motor from Hercules Hobby. Hercules actually do trucks. It says so right there in the box. Let's crack this open. I haven't had a look at it yet. Hamish, they really do look like an awesome kit. Mate, they are. I'll be the first to tell you that Tamiya truck kits aren't cheap. And they're just not. But they're worth the money. As soon as you get to the point where you can start putting that body on top of it and look at how it's going to look, you go, what money? Okay, you might not do that. But you forget how much it costs. It's a little bit less painful once you can see it like it is now. You sort of stand back, and if I build an RC that I really like, I'll work on it for so long, I'll go to walk out of the garage and I'll stop and I'll turn back and look at it. That's when you've got the right RC. It's like when you buy a real car. If you don't turn back and look at your car, you've got the wrong one. Unless you bought a cheap shit box runabout just to get you about, and then you don't care about looking back. Anyway, so this is our brushed motor. 60 turn. It should be plenty torque enough and slow enough. The 27 turn in these trucks is crazy fast. A while back I had the Tamiya Globeliner. Christian and I were out wheeling the trucks, and this was my first ever Tamiya truck. I said to Christian, wonder how fast it goes. Don't ever say that if you've got one of these trucks in a 27 turn motor, because it's fast, okay? I got it up into 3rd gear, floored it from a mile away. I mean, these things don't stop very quick, which is scale. If I didn't throw my foot out in front of the truck, it would have smashed into the curb into 1,000 pieces. I mean, it was one of those holy shit moments. So, definitely recommend you get a slower motor. I did try RC 4-wheel drive 80 turn of mine. Ran out of torque. It just, as soon as you had a little bit of weight on it, it just ran out of puff. I'm yet to see what this motor's like. Hopefully it's good. I haven't heard bad things. I'm sure there's a few guys on here that run the Hercules gear, so hopefully it goes as well as it looks. Because I mean, it's not a bad looking motor. All the pretty bits on the end there. So yeah, probably later on today or tonight, that's going to go in the truck. So that's that. I also purchased a little rear bumper. Brian Potts has joined us. Thanks for joining, Brian. Got myself a little rear bumper for the truck too. Generally, I don't back into stuff for trucks. I don't. But, I mean, it looks cool. It's a nice aluminum bumper. Should fit. Supposed to fit all the trucks. So, depending on how this feed goes, I might even whip the screws out of the back and see if I can bolt it on now. So that's what I've got for the truck. Now, who wants to see, and you're going to have to smash some likes and such for this, who wants to see what colour the truck's going to be? You're going to need to see some likes there if you want to see that. Because I stood at the paint shop there yesterday for probably half an hour looking at the rack. I was like, No. Looking at my picture, I seen one colour and it was like, okay, I think I can work with that colour and I'll use a different colour with it. So that's what I did. Ooh, the likes and loves are coming hard and fast. Wicked. Lovely. They are free. Okay, so I sort of have to explain as I show. Right. Parking by fill, they call that. Parking by fill, they call that, Hamish. Jenna says, come back Saturday. Mate, I may well do another feed Saturday anyway. So, this is always uploaded. You can always watch it whenever you want. So, yeah. Anyway, first colour for the Tamiya truck will be going along this whole side, up over the wheel arch, won't touch any of the side here, up over the wheel arch, down around the front, and then same on the other side. That colour is going to be, now I'm not sure how this light's going to help, Racing White, which is TS7 by Tamiya. Okay, that's the first colour. So this was actually the first colour I seen and went, oh, I've got an idea. I think it might work. So we've got TS White for the first colour. Like I said, all down here, up over the garden around the front. The second colour, which will actually go, this light's really not helping, down around here where the grill piece is, up there, and it's going to go along here, down here, and the whole cab. And that is going to be this, which is TS95 Pure Metallic Red. So we're going for a two-tone truck. Now, the reason I picked this colour, let me just sit the truck down without knocking everything over here. The only issue with some of these RCs is they're long and I need a bigger desk. The reason I picked these two colours, I don't know how well this will focus, is they're reasonably close to the same sort of tone, same brightness, etc. So they should work really well together. Hopefully, like I said, if the weather's not too bad the next few days, I might be able to get some paint down on this thing. I just have to make sure I look at the book, I think about everything that I need to paint, so that I don't just go, oh, paint, and then paint stuff, and then come back and go, oh, shit, there's other pieces that need to be this colour or that colour, and I should have thought about it. So, top tip, when you're doing paint, look at the book, look at the truck. Same goes for crawlers. Plan out how you're going to paint it. It's so easy to get excited about putting paint on that you'll grab the body and you'll paint stuff and then you'll go, oh shit, this piece needs to be this colour and this actually should have been this colour and this little bit should have been this. Plan it out first. Zach's joined us. Thanks for joining, Zach. Much appreciated, mate. There is one more colour. Move this out of the way. Now, I don't know how many of you guys know anything or nothing or heaps about trucks, but generally speaking, you will paint this part of the bonnet either a matte black or a semi-gloss black. Why? Well, I don't know how many of you guys out there have driven trucks, semis, lorries, tractors. Tractors are in farms, Americans. If you're driving on the road in a truck like that, the sun hits the bonnet, straight in your eyes. So, semi-gloss black is what I'm going for across the top of the bonnet, the red, and then the racing white. Luke, hi mate, sorry I'm late, I had to make a coffee. This, mate, is why I make mine before I start, okay? That's alright, dude. You've missed the colours of the truck, so there's that. We're going for a two-tone with a satin black, essentially sunshade spot, whatever you want to call it. There's heaps of different names. Part on the bonnet is going to be semi-gloss black. The top colour of the truck, Tamiya Metallic Red, or Pure Metallic Red they call it, TS95. I know that's backwards. The bottom part of the truck, the bumper over the fenders, is going to be that colour, which is Tamiya's Racing White. It's not a pure white. The cab plastic is a pure white. This is more of a slightly yellowed white. So Luke says he didn't know I was doing a live feed before he made it. Post it on the page, mate. Just turn on those notifications. That's all you got to do. It's all right, buddy. I don't expect everyone to be at all these feeds. So that's where we're at with that. We've got the Hercules Hobby 60-turn motor that I have to put in it. That's probably tonight's job. I've got the paint there to go on it. I mean, there's heaps of stuff left to do. I've still got 2 full sheets of chrome left to go on this truck. Little mirrors, grab bars, parts for the back. I mean, there's just stuff everywhere. I've also been looking pretty furiously online for upgrade options and such. Now, we all know how much I love my Samex stuff. Samex used to make Tamiya truck gear. So I've messaged my good mate Hang at Samex and started pestering him. I want to see what he's got left to see if I can get some. I know they make shocks and they're just bloody gorgeous. They make shocks for these trucks. I want to try and get those, and they make the axle arms too. So there is more stuff that they make, but I'm finding out very quickly why not many people build the Ford. Most will build the Night Hauler, all the other bloody the bonnet trucks, the Scania, the Mercs. There's 100,000 options for those trucks. The poor old Aeromax got the short end of the stick as far as upgrades and fancy bits goes. But I mean, that's cool. I'm going to quite enjoy having a truck that's that little bit different to others. With the paint, I'm going to make it stand out without having to buy too many fancy bits. That's what's going on up here. There is interior stuff to go in it. I'm going to look at the light up dash and all that sort of stuff with that truck. I'm excited. This thing's it's epic. Love my crawlers. But there's something really cool about having a Tamiya truck. Can't wait to drive this thing. Because Luke missed this. Got myself a little rear bumper. What I'm going to do, I'm going to swing the truck around if I can find a screwdriver. Now, Tamiya kits, you're going to want one of these. I can't wait for the day when Tamiya says, perhaps we should use Allen bolts. Do it, Tamiya. Such a great idea. Brian Potts loves his globe liner. They're a beefy looking truck, man. I loved mine. It was cool. It had the MFC 01 in it, which is awesome, which is what's going in this truck. But it just didn't sound beefy enough. Christian had I forget what they're all called. He had the international one. I want to say Night Hauler, but I'm not sure if that's what it is. Anyway, his truck just sounded epic. It was so bassy and it sounded like it was working hard. My old Globe Liner sounded a bit tinny because there was only so much space in that cab for all the MFC is huge, okay? There's only so much space for it. Whereas with a truck like this, I can put the speaker up in here. These little windows are going to be blacked out. There's room in the back here for all the control dealies for the MFC, trailer plug lights and all that sort of deal. You don't get that with the Globe Liner because there's not that much room. Tell you what I will do. I will sit this down here. I'm going to turn that chassis around and see if I can bolt on my little bumper because I'm excited about this. The first mod for the Aeromax. Like I say, there's not a whole lot of options out there for this truck, so to get one, I was at the local hobby shop and they stock Hercules stuff. So what have you got for it'll fit the Ford? And it's a little bumper. I'll take it because I like options and I want to just be able to bolt stuff to my truck. Right. Did Ryan get mugged by a big spider when he was there? No. I actually found it quite funny, Zach, that so many Americans just swear everything in Australia is out to get you. I'm not even sure if Ryan seen a spider while he was here. I mean, they're not just everywhere waiting around corners with baseball bats. They're not. Brian, agreed, just put a piece of tape on the speaker, it helps. Yeah, look, I tried making my own sort of speaker box and all these things, and I got nowhere with it. So I just dealt with it. It's cool, it's an old truck, it should sound a bit tinny. Should. Right, so I've got to suss out how this bolts. I think that goes up that way. Lovely. So I just need to undo 4 screws. I'll try not to bore the crap out of you guys with this. I could have done this in my own time, but this is an RC live feed, so let's do a bit of tinkering on the RC, eh? Right. First screw is being undone. If you guys have got any questions about these trucks or anything or upcoming stuffs, there is a couple of projects coming up which I'm bloody excited about. I might start telling you about those actually whilst I do this. I'm going to drop the nut. You don't want to drop those. Unless you're a 14-year-old boy. Anyway, so I had a guy contact me. Guy from China, Casey, his name is. Casey contacted me, and he told me a story about his 2014 Land Rover Defender. Sent me some pictures of it, and then proceeded to send me a couple more pictures where you could see massive amounts of damage. Casey's Defender actually got smashed into by a bus. Yeah. Casey was in the car at the time. He had, I think, 4 cameras on this Defender. I mean, like, long story short, love that car, which I get. I'm a car guy. So anyway, Casey and I got to chatting. Casey wants a 110 replica of his Defender build, which is awesome. He actually told me that he talked to a lot of people across the world and he couldn't find anyone that wanted to build his truck for him. So I'm going to build Casey a 2014 Defender. I will use the extra speed body. You can get different fronts for them if you do a bit of searching around. I did some searching around and I found a front end that is a 2014 front end that are direct fit for these Defender bodies. So I get to help Casey relive some memories. It's not going to be easy. Casey had a custom wrap on his Defender, and it's a bit complicated. I'm going to have to paint it. I did think about going and talking to a local wrapping place or something like that, but I think I'm just going to have to paint it. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be horrible. Right, so Chris Bleach just joined us. Chris, I'm tinkering with my truck, mate. Tinkering with the truck. I'm putting on a little bumper that I got. We all know how much I love my bumpers. Let me just get the screw out without dropping it, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Check that out, Leachy. Got myself a little rear bumper for the Ford. Yeah. Hang on 2 minutes, Chris, and I'll show you the colours that the truck's going to be. Right, so let me have a look at this and see how it bolts on, because I've got absolutely no idea how it's supposed to. I know I've got my light pieces here. Mr. Leach may even be able to assist me. I don't know if they go... That goes that way, and they go on the inside. That's my guess. Yep, I'd say that's correct. Oh, that's going to be pretty. Right. So now, yeah, so I'm going to be building a 110 Defender replica, as damn close as I can get it, to what Casey used to have, which is an honour. It really is. It's nice to have someone contact me and tell me that, you know, they like what I do, and can I help them? That's the big thing. I do like helping people. I'm having a battle to get the screw back in here. I like helping people wherever I can. So to have the opportunity to help Casey have a little Defender, which is a replica of his old one. Get in there, screw. God. It's a bit tricky to line all this up whilst trying to chit chat and keep things interesting and all those dealies. Bear with me. It'll be worth it once it's in there. Like I say, I could have fitted this before the feed, but where's the fun in that? I'm sure you guys much prefer to laugh at me trying to make all this stuff fit whilst doing a feed. I think that's lined up. I'm having no luck. So what's everyone doing while I'm annoying myself with this? Rob's joined us. Thanks for joining, Rob. Pleasure to have you with us, buddy. At the moment, I'm faffing around trying to get a screw in the back of my truck so I can put my new little bumper on that doesn't seem to want to line up anywhere. I mean, I know it lines up, but I'm trying to do 2 plates and it's not cooperating. Looks like Crawler Concepts make decal panels. I thought, Luke, like I say, I looked at the whole idea of, well, that's very close. I thought about the whole idea of having bloody such and such, having the body wrapped, but I mean, that's going to be a pretty big ask for someone to copy a wrap and install it on a body 10 times smaller than a normal one. Getting the actual design that was on Casey's truck, not easy. So we've got Brian's working on the patrol interior. Love how that thing's coming along. Luke Fry is still sanding his 3D printed body. Yeah, you sand that thing, Luke. I've had a change of heart with what I'm going to do with mine. So that's going to be back on the bench shortly. I'm going to camel it. Yep, I'm going to camel it. What do you reckon about that? I'm going to have another camel truck. Camel Range Rover. I was only doing a pretty fancy colour because it's going on Hannah's truck. But now, I've decided otherwise. I'm going to camel it. If she doesn't like it, tough. I'm having no luck here, fellas. Swear words imminent. Jacob Chester's joined us. Thanks for joining, Jacob. Luke's just sitting around playing with the sugar gliders. Well. Why aren't you playing with RC stuff, mate? What's up with that? Come on, screw, bolt, get in there, please. I'm about to give up on this because I'm not doing... come on, silly that. I'm not doing a feed where I spend half an hour trying to get one bloody bolt in. Once the first one goes in, the rest will be easy. I'm just having no luck lining it up, which is unfortunate. Got it. Whew, what a joke. Anyway, that's in. That's gonna sit pretty good, I think. It's not gonna protect me lights, but it's in there. And it's an upgrade. It's an option. So I'm happy about that. Well, I'm not happy. I just dropped I dropped the nut. This is why generally I don't work on this stuff while I'm doing feeds, because it's too easy to drop one nut and then nearly drop the second one. Once you start dropping this stuff, it's just all downhill from there. Oscar, just waiting for my car to arrive. Brian Honey has joined us. Thanks for joining, mate. What car are you waiting for, Oscar? What car are you waiting for, mate? Finally got that thing to do up, so that's awesome. I'll put one in the other side, and then we'll call that as good as I'm doing for this live feed, because I'm going to give myself the willies. Turtle's joined us. Thanks for joining, Turtle. Pleasure to have you with us, mate. Right, so I put this side in. Oh, the PG4, Oscar. Word on the street is they are shipping out. So if you've ordered yourself a PG4 limited editions, they is shipping out. Oh, I need to think before I put that in. I've got to put my other bloody light back on. That would have been a tragedy. Now I look at it, I probably should have put that on the outside of it. I will carry on. It's going to have to go on the outside, which is going to push my lights out. I don't know if I want them out. Yeah, I can deal with that. I'm going to take the other bolt back out. Zach, out of money. Still have the cardboard body. Nice. Look, let's see some videos of this cardboard body running, man. It was so cool seeing people's trucks with that cardboard competition. It was just awesome. Love watching that. Right, try and be all clever here. Probably won't work. I'm now going to try and put a bolt in the other side. No, that clever idea was a fail before it began. Right. Try and line all this up. Like so, this sort of stuff's a lot easier if you've got your whole desk to work with. I've got my little bloody got the camera thing set up there. It makes it all a bit difficult. Come on, line up. There's one more bolt and I can show the nice people what it's going to look like. We'll give them a rough one here anyway. Just won't quite line up for me. What am I doing wrong? Alright, I'm about to ditch this idea and then put up pictures later on the page. Because I thought to myself, and I'm not sure if you guys want to see it, I've got Benny's truck sitting here. Now, I'm at the point where I'm ready to put in the BSC, the servo, the winch controller, etc. And I thought perhaps today, depending on how long you guys want this to go for, I could start installing the electrics in Benny's truck. What do you reckon? I'm giving myself the shits with this. I really am. My brain's not with changing RC stuff right now. Okay? It should be, but it's not. I'm going to take that bolt back out. I'm going to try it the other way around. There's always something, isn't there? Greg's joined us. Thanks for joining, Greg. I'm not sure how long you've been here, mate. These live feed things have a bad habit of not telling me who's with us, who's not with us, etc. I just find out later when people comment. Right, I've taken that back off. There's my flashy bumper. They do move, so don't panic about that. There's my flashy bumper. This time I'm going to try it with these on the outside. And if it doesn't work, I'm not going to do it. I'll do it after the feed and show you pictures, because I wouldn't sit there and watch some clown, me, try and put this stuff together on a live feed and just not get it right. I'm actually good at this stuff. You just wouldn't know it when you watch someone on a live feed and they're trying to put these pieces together like so, because stuff just doesn't want to cooperate, and that's frustrating. It is a bit of a tricky little spot to get into as well, if I'm honest. I'm trying to dodge the mud flap on the truck. Trying to dodge the mud flap holder. Yeah, it's a tight little spot there. And I keep dropping the bloody screws off the bench. I knew this was a bad idea. I just knew it. So I have to hold a screwdriver, the screw, this magnetic tip. Not very magnetic anymore. I do have a magnetizer dealie here somewhere, which I'll have to break out. So it's not easy to hold this, to hold the screwdriver and the screw and try and put it all into a chassis that you've got to hold still at the same time. Apparently. Tell you what I will try. I might flip the truck upside down. Luke, could you take a front wheel off the extra speed and show me the steering knuckle angle? If the top pivot is forward or rear of centre. We can have a look at it. I'm going to have to take the body off it, and then we'll sort of have a bit of a sticky beak. Why are you having issues with yours, mate? This is probably a much better idea. Why didn't I do this in the first place? Right, I just have to make sure I've got the correct sides for the correct sides. I'll grab this bolt here and what makes it tricky is I can't just put the bolt through here. I can do that, and I can't just put the bolt through, which side does that go? Through here, and then put it into the chassis, because obviously bolt's in the way of the chassis. I just have to make sure I'm doing this all correctly, otherwise I'm going to wreck it, and I don't want that. Right. And then the mud flap gets in the way, and now I'm looking at it upside down and I'm confusing myself. Right, that goes down there. This slides in there, whilst holding the mud flap out of the way. That will slide down into that one. Making a hash of this. This is how it goes when you try and film stuff. That one went straight in. Lovely. So perhaps I should have done it like this in the first place. Right, Luke, mine is way forward at the moment, giving it massive positive cast when you turn the wheels to roll in the front tyre. I haven't noticed anything wrong with mine, Luke, if I'm honest. Just let me concentrate on this piece first, because apparently I'm having great difficulty doing that. I just want to try and get this bloody thing on so even I can see what it looks like. Not having much bloody luck, mate. So I have that bolt in there, which is lovely. Now let's see if I can get the next one in. And then I think we'll be laughing. That needs to go that way. That needs to go that way a bit. That is a very tight fit. Maybe it's not designed for this bloody piece. If that's the case, I'll have to get the Dremel out later and make it designed for it. Right, so I'm going to try and put my other side on now, and then if I get it on there, we'll call it fitted, roughly, for now. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right, that piece goes. And it's bloody tight. Bloody tight fit, mate. I think I see where I'm having issues here. Bear with me one moment, guys. I'm sorry this has turned into a really boring live feed of a guy looking at 2 holes in his truck. Okay, so after all that, I'm going to can this because I'll tell you why. They are supposed to go on the inside. You need this bracket here to space out that one so that it all sits where it's supposed to. So, can that idea. I'm just going to move the truck to the side because otherwise we're going to swear. And we don't do that here because it's PG. So that's fine now. At least I know how it goes. So once the feed's done, how annoying. Once the feed's done, I'll be able to do it in a jiffy. Something I did want to show you guys. You recall I was having an issue with the shop truck, the budget build. That was the issue. See how that sort of looks round at the front? But at the back, you can see it's not round. It's got 2 flattened sides, but the front is rounded. That was the issue. So they turned up for this little beast. If I can grab it without knocking everything else awry. So, the budget build. So far, I have spent, and these wheels and tyres aren't staying on it, so they don't count. $100 on the truck. That's 100 Australian, which is probably like $10 US. $100 on the truck. It's the RGT Bowler or Warrior, depending on the version. The Bowler was version 2, I believe, of the RGT. Version 1 was the RC4, the smaller one. This has got a wheelbase of 280. I believe the one before that was like a 265. So, I'm in the process of just figuring out what I'm doing with that body. I may weather it and dirty it and rust it and whatever else, just so that I can still use that body. Mike Jackson's joined us. Taylor's joined us. Thanks for joining, fellas. So where I'm at, I put the 390 Warrior motor in it. I had to slightly modify the motor plate because apparently these trucks come out with. The first version of these had a 370. The second version and so on had 390. So this is the first version. So I had to get the Dremel out and make a couple of holes a little bit bigger so that the motor would fit into it and slide into the correct position. But now, she's all good. She's got a motor in it. I have the ESC that Oscar gave me with the truck. Now, Oscar never ran this. Oscar bought it, and it was going to be a fixer-upper, and it just sat there. So I can't blame Oscar for any issues with the truck. How it was how it was when he got it. He didn't even look at it, really. He just got it, and it sat there. To-do list. Servo's got to be changed. These are a waterproof 4 kilo servo. I could possibly pinch that and put it in the Tamiya truck as a gear changer. Don't need a very big servo for a gear changer. So that's going to come out. The ESC can stay in there for now. I'm quite happy with that. So I've got to change the servo, get a receiver for it. I might just get one of those cheap Hobby Wing orange ones because then I can bind it straight to the DX6. Budget build is a driver for... let's see. Say I'll spend 25 bucks on a servo. I think those orange receivers are like $7. So for less than 140 bucks. Oh, sorry. Less than 150 bucks because I replaced the diff gears front and back, and there was the motor. The motor was like $7. The diff gears I think were about $13. So 150 bucks. You've got a crawler, and that's Australian, which is what, around 115 to 120 US dollars. Bing. And these good fun little truck with flex for days. Crazy amounts of flex on these little things. That doesn't look like much what I'm doing up there. When it's sitting on the table and you pick it up, This thing flexes more than a 10.2 does out of the box. I'll give you the tip. So that's where we're at with that. Cool looking little trucks. They come with metal links. Oh, I do have to get rid of the bump steer. When these guys designed this truck, I mean, it's a cheap company. They're just making a cheap entry-level truck, which is fine. When they did their design work, see that? That's called bump steer. If you haven't got your suspension set up correctly, you will get bump steer. Why is doing it with a 4-link and it hasn't got a panhard? So I'm going to make a panhard bar for it. They've got, yeah, if you can see, they've actually got, there's a panhard link mount there, and then there's one up there. Yeah, there. Why didn't they include one? Anywho, I'm going to make up a panhard bar for it, put that on there, and then she's got a Mickey Mouse 4-link on the front that hopefully won't have bump steer. I did lower the truck a little bit. It was jacked up as high as possible because apparently that's the best way to do it. Lowering it stopped the bump steer a bit, you know, because everything's sitting down a bit lower. Doing it, pushing down on it while it's on the table, it barely moves. When you've got it off the table, that's where you've got to have your truck set up properly. So that's where we're at with that. I'm looking forward to driving this thing. I love that little body. I don't know why. It's a funny little mix of the mighty Jeep, whatever you want to call it, FC I think it is. Those decals in the front, Defender. Everyone of you guys know it. That's Defender headlights and indicators and such. It just is. If you look at the axial FC body, the rear end is identical. Am I wrong or what? It's damn near identical. So yeah, this is how you get around copyright laws. You make a body that's exactly the same, and you put decals on the front instead of having a nice grille that goes in there or something like that. For some reason, I love it. It's so ugly, it's pretty. It's a cool little truck. So I still have to try and get rid of some of the glue off the body. It's so annoying. Don't put glue on your body, people. I've got to try and get rid of some of the glue off it. Then I'm going to try and weather it up to make it look like an old shop truck that's just fun to drive. That's all this truck's about. Cheap, fun. That's why I'm going to try and reuse this. There's no big cracks or anything in the body. It's just people glued stuff to it. Why? That's a big ring of glue. I've got that piece off so far. There's glue on the side of the truck. You can't see it very well. There you go. I did try and use some polycarbonate cleaner to try and bring that up, but it's not moving. So what I'm going to do is rust over the glue and make it look like bubble rust. That's all I can do. So I'm going to try and use what glue I can't get off as more weathering stuff. Don't put glue on your body, people. It just makes everything really difficult. So there's that. Now, the electric's going in Benny's truck. Gear racing, waterproof, metal gear, 20 kilo servo. I run these in damn near all my trucks, actually. I'm slowly getting to the point where I'm fitting out everything as I go. These things, for the money, are brilliant. Fact, don't care what anyone says, they're brilliant. If you want them to be even more brilliant, get yourself a Hobby Wing external BEC. They cost about $3 on Wish. $3. They're easy to wire up. Maybe one day I'll do one here and show you how to wire it up. It's simple. Easy to wire up. More voltage for your servo. Stops your servo taking power from the receiver. Wicked. They're bloody good. That's why I run them in everything. Luke Fry. Get some of your bonnet satin black. Excuse me, and paint the flares. What I was thinking was I'm going to get some really rough sandpaper and I'm going to attack the inside of the body in certain places, and then I'll hit it with some smooth sandpaper. Then I'm going to spray it with primer. So it looks like the paint's come off. You can see the primer underneath. Then I'm going to sand a bit of that off, more so in the middle. And then I'm going to spray it with a rust colour. All these ideas are floating around up here. My brain goes, that's a great idea, you should do that. And then you start doing it and you go, that looks nothing like I envisioned. That's what I'm going to do anyway. I'm going to try and rust it from the inside out and the outside in. I don't mind the idea of painting the flares, but at the same time too, I like having them body colour, because if I have dark wheels, it's not too much black going on. That's how this works. Anywho, but that's all in That's all in good time. If I was going to do the flares, I'd probably plastic dip them so it was a bit more robust. If I paint the outside, they're likely to just chip off. Anyway, ESC for Benny's build. 1080 waterproof brushed ESC with program card. Are these good? Yes. Bloody brilliant. Listening to the voices in your head. Yep. That's how I come up with half this crap. These things are bloody magnificent. They really are. I run these in as many trucks as possible, and it's one of those things I'm retrofitting trucks that I've got around that haven't got one of these and putting them in there. I love the fact that you can put the ESC in your truck, plug in the program card, do all your lipo cut off, your drag brake, etc. settings, your punch, and all those things, and then just leave it. I mean, the button's waterproof, so you've got a nice illuminated button that you can have hidden away somewhere nicely. You can tell when you're actually pushing it off and on. It's not one of those bloody little side ones that get full of dirt, and they're good. They're really good. So that's got to go in Benny's truck. Also, the wireless winch controller. We put a winch on Benny's truck, weathered that up, looks Mickey Mouse. I am going to have to extend, I think, the winch plug wire. This is going to be powered. I'm going to wire, take it out of the bag so I can show what I'm talking about. At least this live feed got a whole lot more interesting than watching a bloke try and put a bloody screw and a nut in a bumper. That's just irritating. When I do YouTube videos of trying to fit stuff, never goes to plan. It just doesn't. Right, so let me just undo this deal here. If I could make one suggestion to you racing, it'd be please don't do this. Right, so there's our little winch controller, wireless winch controller. You can quite easily double-side tape that to your controller somewhere if that's handy. Generally, I leave mine like this, and I'll have it in my pocket. That's why it's got the slider on it. There's your buttons. So I'll leave that in my pocket, and that way, when I need it, I can do what I need to do. So there's that. This pluggy here is for your winch. Straightforward. The plug on the winch is the male plug, and this is the female focus camera. Excuse me. So to wire this up, on the lead from, I'll open this up too and show you a bit more of this. I'm not sure if I'll do it on the feed because I know what will happen. No sooner I start trying to bloody solder some of this stuff together, I'll cock something up because I'm doing it live. Make myself look like a royal toss-up. I may just do some instructional videos because then I can just do it. I've just got the camera there going, I'm now soldering this. Do an instructional video on a bit of soldering for anyone that wants to know any more about it. Right, unboxing. So there's your box, and there's your pretty ESC, and they are a pretty thing. And they're small. Right, get this out of here. First things first, your program card. So this will be put in the box when the truck's shipped to Benny in case there's any settings he wants to change. I do plan on running Benny's truck once. So I can take it out, make sure all the settings are Mickey Mouse, get some nice photos for him. I've got the approval, don't worry. Get some nice pictures for him, perhaps do a few little clips of my truck and that truck out there at the same time. Yeah, so I'm going to take it out, make sure everything's running Mickey Mouse, do all the programming, get everything perfect. So when I send it to Benny, all he has to do is plug his receiver in and drive it. So there's your program card. There's also in there some decals, instructions, a couple of wire ties, and some heat shrinks. Good stuff. Now for the fun bit. There is actually something that they've changed on these, which annoys the crap out of me. I'll show you what it is. I hate these plugs. I know there's lots of you guys out there that probably swear by them. I hate them. I just really do not like those. So I run Deans. With a low turn brush motor run on 2S, I run Deans on my motor plug too. Yeah. I bet you there's a lot of people out there right now going, what? Yep. I'll quite happily run Deans plug on my motor, Deans plug on my ESC. Then if I want to change out my motor, I can just go unplug, plug in the next one. Never had any issues. So before someone sits there and starts going, oh, that you're going to burn out your plug and all this, apply. Okay? If you smash a 4S through it, probably will. 2S, it's fine. I'll run 2S and everything. Tony Gutierrez has joined us. Thanks for joining, Tony. Just talking about ESCs, mate. This is the 1080 waterproof ESC that's going in Benny's Defender. Quick and easy dealies. There's one plug here, right? You get this. This plugs into your ESC, like so. Now, I'm not sure. You possibly could. You could leave that plugged in, have a special little spot on your truck somewhere where you could just pull some excess wire out, plug that into your program card. That's how you make a truck easy to live with. Right, here's your program card. This will only plug into one side, I believe, or it should. Yes. That way. Right, so that's how you program your ESC. You put it in, turn the ESC on. This will light up. If this doesn't light up and show you numbers, you haven't done it right. Instruction will tell you how to do it. Plug it in, and if you look on the bag, that's got a heap of different settings on it. Tells you what does what. I don't know why this won't focus. Probably Facebook's changed how it does stuff. The front has some more options down here as well. So you go through, enter your values, etc. There's like 15 different choices. That's a lot of settings for an ESC that costs, I think, about $40 US. Cheap. That's going in Benny's truck. And I'm glad it's going in there, because I'm getting to the point now where I'm just about ready to send Benny's truck off. I'm waiting on a couple more little pieces. The worst part of doing a build like this is you order parts and then companies go, we haven't actually got it in stock. So you got to wait. It's like, oh, I don't want to wait. I want to just get it done now, because I'll show you the truck in a second. I'm like this close. I do have a tiny little bit of weathering to do, which is nothing major. It's more so the stuff on top of the truck. I'll show you that in a moment. Whilst we're at it, we'll do a quick unboxing of a year racing survey. Show you these bad boys. Love these. If I can get that right. Okay. Undo the box, and then you see this bad boy. They're brilliant. Not shit now. They're brilliant. I love these. There is only one fault that I can think of with these. Two faults. One, they're bloody hard to get out of the little safety packing thing. Two, let me just show you this fault. You guys will agree with me, I'm sure. I might actually message you racing and say, can we do something about this? That is not long enough. It might be fine for a drift car, but for a crawler, that's not long enough. That needs to be another half that again. Daniel Mercer, I always do with spare motors, always get leads soldered on it, proper connectors, 4 minutes. Exactly right. And that's another reason to put plugs on your motors. We've all used the old bullet plugs. We've all used them. Axials come with them. A lot of Tamiya's and such come with them. They're not terrible. If you're running on 2S, the old bullet ones, perfectly fine. I like a Dean's plug. It's neat, tidy, easy to zip tie up against a frame rail or something like that to hide it. I use Dean's. They're good. So yes, I'm actually going to contact some people I know at Racing and say, can we make these longer? They probably won't. And that's not because of who they are. It's just, could you imagine changing the whole process? I will suggest it. Perhaps in future runs of servos, this will be longer, because that's not long enough. Okay, for an SCX10 it might be. Unless you've got your truck here and your electrics box up the back of it, something like that. This needs to be another this much longer. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So and I know with Benny's truck, I've had to do the same with mine. I will snip this, I would extend these wires, and then I will solder the end back on. When I do it, I will use all black wire. That way, everything's black and hidden underneath the truck. When I run the motor wires, because the motor's in the front of the truck and the ESC's at the back of the truck in this, I will use all black wires. This is where you use your smarts. Cut a length. You can cut a length, solder the positive on the motor, solder the positive to the ESC. Then do your negative to your negative. Don't solder them both to your motor and then go, not all motors have markings on them to show you which is positive. So top tip. You also get a little baggie of screws and some servo horns and such, but I mean, not many of us use those, really, do we? So that's the servos. They are bloody brilliant. They are really nice. The only real fault is that cord should be longer, and that's, you can get extension leads for like $2. So I'm being a little sooky with that. But I mean, you know, we spend the money, we want slightly longer cords. And it'd make my life easier with these trucks, because there is a long gap from the motor, from the steering servo, which is right in the front of these trucks, to where all the electrics go in the back of it. Right, sipping my coffee, and then we'll have a look at Benny's Defender. Bloody near iced coffee now. Right. Oh, Jesus, this is heavy. So this is Benny's Defender so far. There is more to do to it. Building a truck like this isn't a quick, easy process like some of the other trucks I've done. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that you guys don't see that goes into making one of these trucks happen. So far, we have his detailed V8 under there. It's a bit hard to hold this thing and show everything, because I'm worried I'm going to drop it. Right. Ugh. There's his detailed V8 in there, all purdy. I do have to build inner fenders, build some inner engine bay pieces so that it's all hidden, nicely detailed. We don't get too much water splashing up on the motor. The motor has been flat cleared. But yeah, that's the front end, because this thing's heavy. Ugh. I still have to take a leaf out of the suspension. That doesn't take long. I mean, they're really quite stiff when you run all the leaves in the rear. I took the small leaf out of mine, adjusted the shocks just so that it's nice, and I'll do the same with this one. Interior's all bar done. Slight weathering need to do on the inside of the doors. That shouldn't take me too long. Then maybe add a little bit more dust here and there. So that's weathered there. All the back seat and such scaled out and weathered as well, which is lovely. Ugh. These things are so heavy. The back of the truck, I'm not going to worry about opening it. You guys have seen the drawers I do. Got to weather this a little bit, put an extra washer in this so it doesn't rattle, because that'd shit me up the wall. Weather the windows, which is just essentially a slight dust. I don't flat clear those, because then it just looks like someone's painted the windows, obvious. Yes, now what I'm going to do is take the body off. That's a part of what I'm doing, so I can show you guys the chassis, etc., and where I lay everything out before I do it. So I need another 2 Allen wrench. These bodies are held on by 4 screws, 2 either side of the body. There's a little locking sort of pin in the back. You don't have to use that. If you don't want to, you just cut the tab off. This truck's long too. Right, don't do these. So yeah, I've got to weather the stuff up on the roof. I did build Benny's truck different to mine, which is good. I didn't want to make it exactly the same, because who in the hell wants a truck that's exactly the same as someone else's? No one, that's who. So I said to Benny before I even started, your truck will be different to mine. I gave Benny black interior, mine's tan. I honestly now prefer the black interior, because it looks so good. Benny's truck's nicer than mine. Fact. So yeah, give Benny a black interior. I did the dashboard different. I did the light cutout for the light up dash different. The engine is different. The weathering's obviously different. The roof tent's different. I quite like everything I've done on this truck. It's come up. I mean, that sounds wanky, doesn't it? But it's actually come up really quite nice. The light kit's set out different. I've done it so Benny can unplug each different portion of the light kit and take it out. Right, shut that door. Whip the body off here. So there's just the body. All that's still going to be painted black. That's on the list. All that stuff's coming to the point now where I'm at the point where I've got everything I need to do it. Right, so when I was talking about the servo earlier, the servo for this truck whip this back out of this box. Servo for this truck sits here. Right at the very front. The electrics here. Well, actually, in the fuel tank. They are what you would call a world apart. Now this wire goes halfway along the tray. Please, yeah, racing, make these longer. You can make them twice as long. We'll cut them and shut them if we have to. Make them twice as long, please. So there's that. The servo should be a pretty quick and easy dealy. I'll install it. I'll run the wire so far through, cut it, extend it the length I need it. I don't want a receiver box full of wires. Mine is full of wires, and it's annoying. Benny's is going to be as simple as possible. All I want in that receiver box is a plug for the servo, plug for the ESC, and a plug for the lights. That's it. The winch is wireless, so that's wired in through the battery lead for the ESC. 3 plugs in the receiver box, that's all I want. And it's just maybe 1 loop of wire per lead. Done. Yes. So where am I at? What am I doing? Showing you guys, I guess, a bit of what's going on. We've got the wire here for the winch, which will be strapped to the chassis down the side there, because otherwise it hits the body. Found that out with mine. The lead goes to yeah. Let me just check that while we're here. Not that one. Right. So here is my winch controller box. I'm definitely going to have to make that longer. So with that plug in there, yeah, I figured that was probably going to be the case. So we are plugged in there. This wire will be hidden down inside the chassis rail. It goes to where the battery sits. That box needs to be up in this flat pad. That flat pad will house my receiver, if I get this wires that way, the receiver with the winch controller box next to it. I'm going to try and place the off-on button somewhere where Benny can just go, bip, reach it easily. With mine, I've got an axial ESC in it. I've got to change it. I've got an axial ESC in mine, and it turns on when you plug the battery in, and that's, you don't want that with a truck like this. You want to be able to put in a big battery in the truck. I can fit a 7600 2-cell in mine. Put a big battery in it. When you're out on the trailer, if you stop for a bit of lunch or something like that, you want to just be able to push a button, turn the truck off. Don't worry about it. Come to drive it again, turn it on, drive. Daniel, what brand is this body? It is the Extra Speed D110. They make Mickey Mouse gear, mate. Best gear you'll get. They're the best scale Defender body, by far. They make the RC four-wheel drive one look a bit. It's true. Yeah, so that's sort of where I'm at today on my list. Among bloody doctors and specialist appointments and stuff like that for my back, which is rude. On my list is I will install the electrics. I will install the servo going up there. The winch controller, the ESC. It's pretty much going to be a runner hopefully today. So I'll just have to pull a receiver out of one of my other trucks to plug it all in and test it. Because I'm running out of receivers. I need to order more. This is the problem you have when you've got too many RC cars. I don't know if that's a thing. Is that a thing, anyone? Has anyone got too many? Kyle Ross has joined us. Thanks for joining, Kyle. You missed all the fun, mate. You missed seeing me argue with my truck for 10 minutes with a bolt that wouldn't go in. We've all been there. Right, now, Luke, you were saying about your steering angles and such, parts of it being a bit funny. Oops, sorry. What I'll do, move this stuff off to the side, because that's on my today to-do list. So, here's the underneath of this truck for those that haven't seen them. Look at it. Is that not the prettiest thing ever? I love these. That seems to stay pretty straight to me, mate. Kyle Ross, there's no such thing as too many RCs. I think you're right, Kyle. I think what it is not enough shelves. Because I know I need more. I was, before the feed, I sort of stood there and looked at my shelves and how I've got my RC stuff, and it's like, shit, I need new shelves. I need bigger shelves. I need more shelves. Because I've got another build coming up that's going on my shelf. Okay, so I mentioned about I'm doing a Defender build for Casey. I'm doing a replica of his old Defender that got hit by a bus. Casey loves that truck. Loves. He doesn't have it anymore. Love that truck. I'm a car guy. I know what it's like to love your car. So, big honour for me to be able to build this truck for Casey. So yeah, I'm building the Defender for Casey, and I'm also building. Should I tell you, or should I make you wait? You're probably all swearing at your phone. I'll tell you. I'm going to be building a brand spanking new CC01. Now, you're probably sitting there going, oh, CC01, you already got one. I do, but this one's going to have every single option that Yeah Racing makes for it. It's going to be a pretty cool truck. And it's not a Pajero. I'm not going to tell you what it is, you have to wait and see. But yeah, it's going to be a sweet truck. And I love a CC01. They're cool. You can never have too many of them. You just can't. You can take an SCX10 out and go and smash every rock out there. That's great. With a CC01, every rock that you make it over is a goal, and it's a big deal. You know, if you drive a CC01 right, it'll go most places, not all. It'll go most places in an SCX10 will. But I don't know. There's just something special about one. Oscar bought my old Unimog CC01, and he said to me it was really sad when I sold it because there's something special about a CC01. Oscar, no, they don't. I don't think the Land Rover's out yet, so it's not that. Kyle Ross is saying rally car build. Nah, it's going to be another little scale truck. So excited about it. That hopefully will be here in, I don't know, a week, something like that. I forget when I push purchase. So yeah, that's coming. I'm excited about that. And then I've got the Defender build coming up, which I'm excited about. It's going to be polar opposites to the Camel, which is cool. I mean, I love the Camel stuff. I love mine. I love Benny's. This is such a nice truck. I love Benny's. I'm going to Camel the Range Rover body because the paint went to shit on it. Frustrated the crap out of me. I thought to myself, I'm just going to sand it back. I'm going to Camel the shit out of it. Daniel, CFX is a nice alternative. You know what? I'd rather have a CC01 than a CFX as the alternative. I've got a CMX. The Bronco, love it. Wicked little truck. Oscar drove it the other week. He loved it too. But there's something special about a CC01. Kyle, what turn mode are you running? A CC01 80 turn. No, I know that sounds a lot. CC01 is bloody quick with a 27 turn. You could rally car it with a CC01. With the 27 turn tin can Tamiya motor that comes with it, you could rally it. It's that quick. 80 turn gives you good wheel speed, not stupid fast, banger 3S, whatever wheel speed. Good wheel speed, good scale crawlability, which is what you want in a truck like that, in my opinion, because it's a scale trail. Oh, you wouldn't call it a truck because, I mean, it's just a little thing. You guys know what I mean. It's all about scale. Jeff saying he's never owned a CC01, so I should buy one. Yes, you should. You really should. RC Mart's selling the Chrome Edition tin top dealie. I thought about getting one of those. It's like, oh, I've already got a Pajero, so I won't. I've got the 93. I don't even know where it is. Where's my Pajero? Anyway, I don't even know where I put it. How bad's that? I've got that much shit in here. It's really hard to keep up with what I'm doing with what. Anyway, it's probably sitting behind me and you guys were laughing at me. I've got the original 93 release, so it's going to be cool for me to get a brand spanky doodle one and I can see if there's any differences. Because, I mean, the old one I've got, that's really starting to irritate me. There it is, down there. Bear with me. There's a lot of stuff in this garage. Does anyone want to buy some RCs? Because I've got some I'm going to sell. Okay. It was hidden behind a box and such down there. So you can see she hasn't been out for a little bit. But here's my original 93 model. Original release CCO1. This is just, you know, I had a bloke a while back try and tell me that Tammy doesn't do scale. It's like, you're an idiot, mate. I don't know if you guys have seen this thing driving in some of my YouTube videos, but this is as scale as it gets. The way this thing bounces around is just epic. I got some MST tyres on this thing. I got some new wheels for it because the old ones were shagged, which is really sad. I should have probably just brought replacement ones for the original ones, but I did keep the original wheels. That was just my brain going, it's original, you should keep them. So I did. I kept those. I need to get this little truck out more. I mean, it's all factory. Nothing's been changed on it except the wheels and tyres. All the running gear, the gears in the truck are factory. How many SCX-10s had run this long? Love it. I love this little truck. And that's why I wanted to build another one. Because there's something special about a CCO1. And I'm quite looking forward to having two of them and forcing Hannah or Tammy to come out with me. And doing a video with two CCO1s and seeing what they can accomplish. That's awesome. So yeah, love that truck. I really do. Alright, so is there anything else I was going to talk about today? Because I really can't remember. I've gone over a lot of stuff. I know I said about doing some soldering and such on the feed, but the feed's gone for a while already. My back's killing me. And if I know, after trying to do that bloody rear little bumper thing on the truck, I know that if I go to start soldering stuff right now, stuff's going to go to shit. I do have to. No, I probably don't have to. I was going to say, to make soldering the motor wires and these easier, take the motor out. I should have done it when I had the motor out. But you can actually get to them. It's just you have to be, I may just take the front bumper off so I can get to everything. Plan out wire placement before you solder a single thing. It's a very good idea. With a lot of the wires that I'll do, like the motor wires, I will run this for my motor wires. I will run it up the length of the chassis. So I will do a piece that's the full length of the chassis. Alright? And then I'll cut another on the same length. And then I'll dab a smidge of super glue every probably 2 inches. Just a little bit. So that I can run these guys right next to each other. And then I'll leave about 4 inches up at one end without any. So that I can go around either side of the V8 that's here, loop it around into the front of the motor. Right. Jeff saying none. That's awesome. I'm going to buy one. Do it, mate. You look. Lock the diffs. I've nearly forgot the most important CCO1 owner's fact. Lock the diffs. If you don't, you'll drive it and go, this is shit. Why did I see that Johnny next? I'll tell him he's a dick for telling me to buy one. I think, I may be incorrect, but I think some of them come with locker kits. Maybe. If they don't, you can always just fill up the locker with glue. I hear that works. It does. If not, there is locking kits you can buy and they're bloody cheap. So do lock your divs, because if you don't, you'll be disappointed. They don't have a great steering lock. Okay, so don't be disappointed about that. Okay. So that is straight, right? Full lock. I think it doesn't matter hugely because it's such a short wheelbase truck, right? But that's it. So don't be upset. You can shave a little bit off the hubs and whatnot to make it get that little bit further. But don't be disappointed. It's not about having a stupid lock or heaps of flex. I mean, that thing's probably got this much flex, and you'll be surprised where it goes. So yes, I've got a lot going on, and I've had my back give me the shits the whole time, and not fun. So this is why part of the reason Benny's build's taking so long. I've been waiting for delivery, so my back's been up the shit, and it's hard to do all of this at once with a back. So yeah, that's where we're at. Oh, for anyone that missed the colours of the truck, that's the colours of the Tamiya truck. Two-tone, red on top, racing white along the bottom, up over the wheel arch, around the front bumper. Love bumper. They're the colours of the truck for those that missed it. I think that's about it. I know I was going to do this and that and whatever else, but I'm also planning on doing the feed my Saturday, which will be American Friday, because apparently people complain when it's one time of the day. So I'm going to do another one. That could change subject to when Ryan gets his truck, because the limited edition Johnny Burden Signature Series PG4s are shipping out. Now, there has been a little delay with the scale banners for those trucks. So, absolute worst case, I've had a chit-chat with Rob. Absolute worst case, the truck will ship out without a banner, and we will send you one. Okay? So, for those that have purchased the truck, that's the worst case scenario, which is no biggie. It's a scale banner. If you got that truck sitting there, you're going to go, I can wait for a scale banner because look, I love mine. Mine's too far away for me to grab. I'm not grabbing it. But yes, I think either in the next couple of days those trucks are shipping out. So get excited for those limited edition truck owners. Can't wait to see what you guys do with them. Can't wait for Oscar to get one and we can go wheeling with it. I don't mind. It's like that bloody big thing up there. That's epic. Oh, get across, Jeff. Get one of those too. Jeff, so tomorrow I was going to buy a cross-scale truck. Well, man, tell ya, get both. What cross truck were you looking at getting? Because if you think there's something special about a CC01, wait till you buy a cross truck. They are epic. Kyle, you do need a cross truck, mate. Tell me, if you guys were to buy a cross, what would you buy? Smash it down. And try and do, I know this sounds bad, try and do it as quick as you can, because this seems to take a while for the comments and such to come through, which is annoying. I go back and watch most of these feeds so I can see questions and such I've missed, and I'll hear me talk about it, and it's like 10 minutes later someone replies to what I was talking about. It's like, damn, that was a long time. What sort of cross truck would you buy? What would you buy, Kyle? I imagine you'd want something that was really scale, full detail interior, because I know you like your scale stuff. Demon's always a good option, mate. You'd like a Demon. They're nice. And the PG4, awesome truck. I love it. The PG4L, don't buy one if you haven't got room, because they're a big truck. It's massive. It is a massive truck. The farm truck, the PG4L, let me move this out of the way. The old farm truck doesn't get enough showtime lately. So let me just roughly sit that on there. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Quite weighty, this old girl. Kyle Ross, you should get one of these. You like scale. You like a nice truck, mate? Get yourself a load of this. Clean, tidy, and yes, I have driven this truck. I know it needs to be driven more. Let me just pop that open so you can feast your eyes on the scale goodness inside that cab. Full detail interior. These things, mate, they're so ugly, they're pretty. If you buy one, don't do it in an army truck. Everyone does these as an army truck. Yeah, that's fine. I get it. They're Russian army trucks. I went for an old fella went and talked to the dealer where they used to sell these Russian army trucks, and he said, I want one as a farm truck. And he got it painted like that. Pearl green with a nice white. I mean, Jeff, sorry for taking you away from your build. Dude, no, don't worry about it, man. this is a live feed, and this is what happens. It can go from anything from talking about a cross truck to a CCO1 to an MO5 to a Defender. This is what we do. If there's something you guys ever want to see, say the word, mate. We'll have a look-see at it. This thing here, surprisingly capable for what it is. I mean, it's heavy. It's got a 2-speed transmission. That's the whole outside of the trans, etc., is all metal. When you buy these trucks, they come with the plastic gears, and they also come with steel gears for the inside of the transmission too. So when you buy it, the gearbox is complete with the plastic gears in it. You get extra paperwork to show you how to take those out and put in the new ones. The normal instruction book also does show you how to put the trans together, just Cross usually does it for you, which is lovely. When you run the metal gears, it does make these trucks reasonably noisy. It's just how it is, isn't it? You know, it doesn't help that it's in a massive transmission. That's that metal gear sound we all love. But how does it drive? Oh, so scale. Get yourself the sound kit, Kyle. You would like that too. If you watched, I'm not sure if it was the last live feed or the one before, I sat there for 10 minutes trying to start this thing up and it wouldn't cooperate because I didn't have my settings in the controller right. Then I posted a video of the truck actually starting up and working properly, and it was just perfect. So get across, mate. They're awesome. If you like scale, get across. I like to try and do a few different builds of different budgets and that sort of thing. And I mean, it's hard for me because all these RCs cost a lot of money. It's true. But you guys seem to like watching what I do and whatever else. So I'll buy some. I'll sell some old stuff. I've got probably 5 or 6 RCs I'm going to sell at the moment, some road cars and such. Are you using the S1? No. Cross make their own sound kits. This truck has got the SK2, which is a military style sound kit. It has air brake sounds. If you use a stick radio, you can use one of your sticks to start the truck up, turn the truck off, sound your horn, that sort of thing. It's got the air brake release and all that sort of sound, which I believe they are about $69 from Cross RC US. Totally worth it. This truck actually comes with a speaker, comes with a light kit, and the light kit's awesome. The lights are yellowed. It's just has an interior light so you can see all that scale goodness. They're bloody awesome trucks, man. Get one. I guarantee you'll love it. If you like RC, you like model building, this is what Cross is. It's a good combination of both. And if you like good performance, especially scale stuff, which I know you like, mate, it's hard to beat. They are bloody good trucks. They really are. I love mine. I need to get this thing out. If it's nice weather this weekend and my back's not totally crap, the farm truck's going out for a run. I blame you, Kyle. Which is good. It's fine. I want to drive the old girl some more. Love it. Okay. Well, I think we've pretty well touched on a lot of things today. We touched on the fact that I'm the favourite son that Cindy and Dennis have, apparently. We talked about what? We talked about the budget build. We talked about CCO1 build. We talked about Defender build. We talked about the old farm truck. We talked about Benny's truck and then all the electrics. And we did a couple of little ESC unboxing, a servo unboxing. And we talked about the paint for the Tamiya truck. And I screwed around for bloody ages trying to get that bumper to fit properly and holding 4 things at once. But it just didn't work. Right. Jeff's just saying, okay, I'm getting Cross farm truck and CCO1. Bam. If you don't like them, you can call me whatever name you like. If you do like them, you have to post up lots of pictures of how you went building it and everything else. Because I guarantee you are going to love them. I promise you that. Everyone that has come to me and said, you know what, I took your advice and went and brought a Cross truck. Man, there's something good about these. It's like, I tried to tell you. There's a good reason I say go and buy a Cross truck. Because there's just something about them. I remember seeing the GC4 on the interwebs a few years back, and I just looked at it and went, oh, man, I'd love something like that one day. There was no way at the time that I could afford anything like it. Different position now, and I'm at a point where I can buy a few RC and get some really nice stuff, and it was like that truck I seen on the internet that time. I I hadn't paid that much attention to who made it or what it was. I just looked at it and went, oh my God, look at it. So I did some searching and I found it, and it was like, it's Cross RC. I need one. That's how I bloody met Rob, and I bought the farm truck. Dreams come true, because I seriously dreamt about having a truck this nice. It's a Cross truck. There's something special about these things. Can't stop looking at it now. All right, so that's pretty much the feed. I think I'm going to do one either Saturday or, I don't know, probably my Saturday, your Friday. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's a bit up and down and whatever else, and it's hard to sit here and talk about stuff for so long and remember all these different things that are going on, because I have probably 20 different people a day message me asking me questions about such, and it's hard to remember everything all the time. But look, I'll try and do more feeds. I'll try and have lots of interesting stuff. If I've had a bad week with my back and I can't do as much as I want to do, etc., well, there's no point doing a feed for 5 minutes and going, do I put a sticker on my truck? No, I might watch that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Do us a favour, give it some shares, give it some likes. The more people we get watching, the more I can do with these things. I'd love to try and, I'm still approaching companies to see if any of them are game enough to send the truck so that I can give it a good honest review, build it, give it away. It's not easy, because a lot of these companies see me as just a tiny little fish in a big ocean. So, who knows? Maybe one day I can get one of these companies to go, tell you what, we'll do it. We'll send you a truck, you build it, give you your honest opinion of it, and then do a giveaway with it. That's what I want to do. So, all right. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go and have a hot coffee, because that one is stone cold and it tastes horrible now. Thanks for watching. Share the crap out of it, and I'll talk to you on the next one.